My name is Allende Russell. I'm your MC this morning. I'm honored to welcome you to Lowell Park for the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep Remembrance Walk. When a child loses his parent, they are called an orphan. When a spouse loses her or his partner, they are called a widow or a widower. When parents lose their child, there isn't a word to describe them. These are the words of President Reagan in 1988 when he declared October Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Today, we still do not have a word to call those of us who have lost a baby. We're gathered here today because we've been impacted by pregnancy and/or infant loss, and while there's not an adequate word to call this community, our hope is that today you feel united with others who have walked this very difficult journey. Our hope is that you will not feel alone in this journey. Our hope is that you'll find healing and peace in honoring your baby through this public remembrance ritual. I got connected to this remembrance walk now about 5 years ago, I think, through Gina Harris, who's acting as the executive director. I lost my son Micah in 2005 to a miscarriage and celebrated his life and buried him. My wife and I mourned, and not long after I met Gina and became friends with her and Rob as they suffered infant loss, 2 losses, and walked with them in that process. And in my own experience of grief, just found that frequently I was in circles where people did not really understand. Got asked some of the most amazing questions and got some of the, sometimes some of the most regrettable forms of encouragement. And then there were folks that really did understand. There were people that had walked the same path, and there were people who knew how to listen. And there were folks who knew how to let you tell your story. And there were folks that knew how to share their story and their pain and their lives and their hope in a way that honored my experience, my wife's experience. And I think I learned from them how to be present. What a very important lesson to learn what it means to just be present for somebody else in their pain and not have to somehow rob them of their experience of grief just to make ourselves feel more comfortable. So we hope today that you can feel comfortable. You can feel comfortable with a safe group of others who've been there, who are also remembering, who also still grieve, whether that was 20 years ago or it was a month ago. We're present for each other. We love each other. We know. And thankfully, we can experience healing. So, welcome again this morning. Thank you for being here. I am pleased to introduce to you all Billy and Sarah Lloyd, and they are going to be performing a song called Winter Bear. So if you could please join me in saluting them with a round of applause, huh?
I knew you before I knew your name. I loved you before I saw your face. I longed for you for all of that time. and I held your heart in mine. I kissed you 100 million times. I tasted the tears that I cried. I held you, my beautiful child, and I'll keep your heart in mine. I love you to the moon and back, my little winter bear. I know you know how much that is, 'cause you're already there. I never knew a love like this could ever possibly exist. I love you to the moon and back, as long as I live. I see you in all of the stars, shine brightly right into our hearts. I look at the night sky above and wonder, can you feel my love? I love you to the moon and back, my little winter bear. I know you know how much that is, 'cause you're already there. I never knew a love like this could ever possibly exist. I love you to the moon and back, as long as I live. You to the moon and back, my little winter bear. I know you know how much that is, 'cause you're already there. I never knew a love like this could ever possibly exist. I love you to the moon and back, as long as I live. To the moon and back, winter bear. I knew you before I knew your name. I loved you before I saw your face. I longed for you for all of that time, and I keep your heart in mine.
We want to thank the organizations that have taken part in our resource pavilion to provide further support for families. Excuse me. It is critical that the pregnancy and infant loss support programs work together to best serve this community. So we'd like to thank these organizations for being a support to our community in a time of need. Our resource pavilion includes Littleton Adventist Hospital, the Beautiful Scar Project, Colorado Pregnancy and Newborn Loss Service, the Wishbone Foundation, Shared Pregnancy and Infant Loss Group in Denver, Healing Art and Padma's Array. We have sponsors to thank. Our agency sponsors are White House Custom Color, MPICS, bronze sponsors Aura Salon, that's hilarious. Aura Salon. I don't go to a salon, I go to a barber shop, so cut me some slack. Philadelphia Insurance, Belmar Orthodontics, and Z Ultimate Arts, Our supporting sponsors, Minutemen Press, 5-Star Talent and Entertainment. Our Angel One sponsors, Mother's Love, Herbal Supplements, Instrom Candies, Shining Star, Kids Dentistry, and our goodie bag sponsor, Wish Garden Herbs. We have some fundraising teams that we want to acknowledge. Our top fundraising teams who raised $500 or more for today. We want to thank and acknowledge the following teams: Angels, Shyla, and Gabriel. Would your team please stand wherever you're at? Where are you guys at? Where? I hear you saying we're over here. Are y'all down the hill? I think they are. We're over here. Get out of the creek. Come this way. They are remembering Shyla Michelle Lorelei Caron. Yes. And Gabriel Joseph D. Martin. Give me a second to turn my page. David and Ethan Harris, remembering David Paul Harris and Ethan Robert Harris. They're right up here in front. Y'all want to stand, huh? David. There we are. Casey's Legacy League, will you please stand? Also over there, where you're barely within earshot. Okay, it's fine. Remembering Casey Olivia Diane Siegel? Yes, okay. Clara Jean, where's your team? Can you please stand? There we go, right up front. That's where you're supposed to be. Remembering Clara Jean Thompson. Dawson's Love, will that team stand? There we go. Thank you, Dawson's Love. Remembering Dawson James Schneider. Emerson Strong, where's your team? Not visible. All right, they are remembering Emerson Drea Norman. Four Angels team, where are you? There we go. The Four Angels team. Remembering Jack Joseph Ellsworth, Walter Ryan Ellsworth, Eleanor Reese Ellsworth, and Amelia Grace Ellsworth. Thank you all so much. Remembering Carson Twin Boys, your team. Can you please stand? There they are. Hello there in the back there. They're remembering the Carson Twin Boys. All right. Team Sunshine, where are you? Could you please stand? There you are. I see you. Okay, remembering Sunshine Jane Yates. Team Theo, right over here. Remembering Theodore David Brown. There's always hope. Where's your team at? I'm looking for you. Ah, there you are up by the tree. Remembering Hope Diane Gentry. Finally, we would like to acknowledge and thank our board of directors, including Cheryl Haggard, Paul Burke, Julie Williams, Michael Stefanski, Aaron Anderson, Dave McCauley. We have one more $500 sponsor team to remember. That's Luke's Legacy. Where are you all at? Could you please stand? Luke's Legacy. I'm scanning. Oh, there you are. Hello again. They're remembering Luke Arthur Campbell. Also from our board of directors, Randy Taylor, Jessica Person, and Matthew Hansen. Thank you all so much. And I am now pleased to introduce you to the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep co-founder, Cheryl Haggard, and our Chief Executive Officer, Miss Gina Harris.
This year marks the 15th anniversary of this walk and the 5th year that this walk has been operated by Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. In 2004, a group of bereaved parents coordinated a remembrance walk to honor their babies. The core of the event was to acknowledge each and every baby by reading their names and doing a symbolic release.
The event evolved into a walk to remember, and in 10 years, the walk impacted thousands of families. In 2014, Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep began operating the walk, and since that time, we have expanded this walk into 5 other states, and we now have a virtual walk. Since 2014, we have read almost 5,000 baby names, and we have served over 15,000 participants. While it is sad to see so many families impacted by pregnancy and infant loss, we are comforted in knowing that there is a place that we can come and honor our babies and hear their names.
For the 15th anniversary of this walk, we are releasing 15 butterflies, one for each year, symbolizing our remembrance of every baby honored at all 15 walks, as well as every baby honored at walks across the United States. Joining us on stage to help release these butterflies are individuals who are at different stages of their journey.
First, we have Renee Stark and her rainbow baby, Raylan, in memory of Maria Faith Stark. Renee was part of the very first walk in 2004 and has been to every walk since except the year she had her rainbow baby.
I'd like to introduce you to Charlene and John Ambrose. They are walking in memory of Daniel Lopez Morris. I met Charlene shortly after I lost my son Maddox, and her baby Daniel was part of the inspiration behind creating Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep.
Tracy Herrera in memory of baby Herrera 1 and baby Herrera 2. This is in loving memory of all the babies we have lost due to miscarriage.
Erica Stone and Tom Ruffles in memory of Matthew Joseph Stone Ruffles. Baby Matthew was the first session Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep ever photographed as an organization.
Sarah and Jake Job in memory of Corinne Marine Job. They are releasing this 5th butterfly in honor of their 5th year participating in this walk.
Miller and Debbie Harrell in memory of Shira Rose. The Harrells lost Shira in 1982 and represent parents who lost their babies decades ago before it was common to take photographs. Today, they are one of the photographers photographing our walk.
Billy and Brandy Ness in memory of Bradley Michael Ness. Billy and his family is one of the top fundraisers for our tribute page, which will be equivalent to 20 photographic sessions to families in the future.
Jerry Piper Bell and her daughter Melissa Bombard in memory of Lucas John Piper and baby Bell. Jerry represents the commitment of our entire care package team.
Becca French and her friend Rachel in memory of Faith Elizabeth and Mateo Elias Jaden. Becca has an incredible story. She not only lost her babies, but in losing her son Mateo, she lost much of her mobility. But in the midst of her challenges, she radiates joy and hope.
Regina Tootle and Walter in memory of Dominic Israel Tootle. She is releasing butterfly number 10 in honor of her participating for 10 years.
Amber Atchley and her mother, Dorothy Stambaugh, are releasing the 11th butterfly for 11 years participating in the walk. In memory of Amber's babies, Emma May, Emily Ann, and Ever Kendi, and in memory of Dorothy's son, baby Angel Martinez.
Keena and Jim Villapiano in memory of Corey Allen Callis. She is releasing the 12th butterfly in honor of 12 years of participating in this walk.
Carl Hinley, in memory of his grandson, Caden Max Welch, will release the 13th butterfly for 13 years of attending this walk. This walk brings together a community with a common bond, and for me, it is truly amazing to have met Caden's mom and now his grandpa, because Caden is buried right next to my boys. I met Caden before I met his parents.
And releasing the 14th butterfly is Kim and Scott Woods in memory of their son, Caleb Calvin Woods. They are the founders of the Beautiful Scar Project.
Our last butterfly for 15 years is being released in honor of all the babies we have honored in the past and all the babies we will honor in the future. We want to thank the representatives who are up here today because they were not only representing their babies, but all of yours. And we want to thank everyone who's made 15 years of this walk possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last year, oh, that was really moving, so I gotta get it together. Last year at the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep Remembrance Walk, I had the honor of meeting Carmen and Colleen Callow. They represent a very long journey, and I know that pieces of their story will likely be relatable to almost every single person here today. While this journey has been challenging for them, just like all of you, within their story, I hear a sense of peace and healing that I thought it would be very beneficial for all of you to hear. Thank you, Carmen and Colleen, for having the courage to share your story. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Colleen Callow, and this is my husband, Carmen Callow. Like so many, our journey started with infertility. After being diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, we immediately began to consult a reproductive specialist. Our first step was to try IUIs. Our first was a fail, which was okay. It just was the beginning, and we were sure after our next one, we would be on our way to parenthood. And we were. I was pregnant, and we were so excited. We shared our news with everyone. Our first ultrasound was a success with a strong heartbeat. At our next appointment, the room got very silent for what seemed to be an eternity. Our doctor informed us that there was no longer a heartbeat and that we had had our first miscarriage. We were devastated and in shock. How could this be, we asked. I had so many mixed emotions of anger, sadness, and failure. I constantly asked myself, was this my fault because of the PCOS? My eggs chromosomes were the problem? Did I do something wrong previously in life? Through the many appointments of poking and prodding, shots, and constant hormonal medication, I often wondered, why not us, God? Didn't he see that we could give a little child so much love, comfort, and happiness? In fact, it was difficult for me to even see another pregnant lady wishing I was her. However, we were persistent that we were going to start a family and had to keep going. So I tucked all my emotions under my belt and kept on with our goal, which is difficult to do on a lot of hormonal medications. IUIs 3, 4, and 5 were unsuccessful, and our doctor urged us to move to in vitro fertilization. I begged him to let us try one last time, and he agreed. The 6th IUI was a success, and we were pregnant, and again, so very excited and joyful, as well as nervous at the same time. At our first ultrasound, there was that same silence in the room. Although there indeed was a heartbeat, it was only 70 beats per minute, and the doctor advised us that our baby was dying and to come back in 2 weeks. Looking for any type of hope, I Googled every blog in search of hope that our doctor was wrong, but came up empty. And we did indeed lose that child as well. Infertility is such a complicated and difficult process, physically and emotionally. But I felt once you get to a certain point in the process, you can't turn back because you've invested too much time, emotionally, physically, and financially.
One of the hardest things for me during all of this was trying to stay strong for my wife, but she began to feel as though this was all of her fault, when I too was feeling trying to figure out what did I do so bad in my past that was causing us to go through what seemed like a punishment at the time. At this time, we decided to move forward with IVF, and our doctor was confident that we would be pregnant and start our family soon. The whole IVF process was extremely stressful and nerve-wracking. We were scared and excited all at the same time. During round 1, we chose to transplant 2 healthy embryos with no fear of having twins. And we were blessed that 1 became a viable pregnancy, and we were overjoyed to welcome our oldest daughter, Kira, to our family. Having success with our first round, it was not long after that we began to discuss another attempt to grow our family. We were so confident that we had learned what it would take. We understood the financial expectations. I knew how to give Colleen multiple shots. She understood the side effects from all of the medicine, and we were ready to tackle it all once again. The first time after Kira, we were unsuccessful. We continued to stay determined even after the doctor advised us that we only had a 10% chance to conceive with IVF due to complications Colleen had experienced when she delivered Kira. And yet, to my amazement, Colleen stayed strong and insisted once again we try once more. And the doctor agreed. This time worked, and we found ourselves overjoyed at another pregnancy, as well as nervous and anxious all over again. It was not long before we were informed that this pregnancy was most likely ectopic, and we would have to terminate it for Colleen's safety. I actually began to question if we should continue our journey. I found myself so angry and sad all the time. I just wanted us to be happy and move on from all of it.
I took a pregnancy test every day for 2 weeks, hoping to find that they were wrong and that I did in fact have a viable pregnancy. It was such an emotional roller coaster. And unfortunately, it was in fact ectopic. Our hope was diminishing. Our doctor advised us that our options for growing our family were now either adoption or the use of a gestational carrier for our remaining embryos. It was not an easy thing to think about the fact that someone else was going to carry our child because I was unable. But if that's what it took, then we would proceed, and decided to move forward with a gestational carrier. It was a long and grueling process with medical tests, contracts, and lawyers, but we felt this was the best way to complete our family.
Once again, we chose to transfer 2 embryos, knowing we were okay with twins, and in fact, we had like an 80% chance of having them. On Valentine's Day of 2016, we found out that our gestational carrier was pregnant. We weren't sure if it was 1 or 2, but we were both ecstatic. About 2 weeks later, I received a call from my wife that would change everything. She asked me to stop and pick up a pregnancy test on the way home. Why the heck would we need a pregnancy test? That night at dinner, I learned what Colleen had discovered earlier that day. We were pregnant, this time with no help. We were becoming one of those statistics. It was only about 2 weeks later that we found out the gestational carrier was pregnant with twins. Holy cow. We are having triplets. We were so excited. Everyone would ask us, what are you going to do? And our response was, love them all as much as we can. We weren't scared or nervous. We were overjoyed with happiness. We had just spent the last 6 years trying to have a family. We exhausted every resource, both mentally and financially. We were finally going to have the large family we dreamed of. So for the next 10 months, we devised a master plan that would allow all 3 babies to be delivered in Dallas together on the same day. After all, their due dates were only 6 days apart. Colleen was due on October 19th, and our gestational carrier was due on October 25th, which just so happened to be Colleen's birthday. This was going to be epic.
It was a Monday, and I'll never forget that day. I received the call from our gestational carrier's doctor to tell us that our daughter, who we named Carmen Hope Callow, passed away at 35 weeks. We were so close. We were in total shock. How and why could this happen? He said it was a cord accident, and this late in pregnancy, it was very highly unlikely. He couldn't give me any more answers. 3 days later, we were informed that our gestational carrier was being prepped for an emergency C-section and was about to deliver our children.
Carmen and her twin Corbin were born Thursday, September 22nd. We scrambled to arrive soon after their birth, and the first person we met was Deborah, our Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep photographer. When we entered the room, she told us she had already taken pictures of them, but she wanted to stay until we arrived so Carmen was not alone. You cannot imagine what that meant to us. We are so grateful a nurse contacted Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, so we have photos to remember Carmen. We would have never thought of this. Everything happened so quickly, and you can't process everything that is happening. One moment, we are holding our son and overjoyed, and the next, we are grieving our loss as we hold our daughter. They also did impressions of our hands and baby Carmen's feet to forever remember her by, which sit in a special place in our room. We continuously asked why. Why would God give us his precious baby and take her away so quick? It was and remains so hard for us to understand. It took a long time before we realized it's okay to be in this much pain and that our grief would remain with us for the months and years to come, and that's okay. We had to learn that we would be experiencing different emotions at different times and to accept what each other was feeling at that particular moment. It was and remains rare that we are both experiencing the same feelings at the same time. Luckily, we have an amazing support system of friends and family. We were inundated with anonymous cards sent to us with encouragement, hope, and faith. One anonymous letter was from a person who shared with us that they too had lost a child, and they included a poem. The title is "They Say There Is a Reason" by an unknown author. We had found such comfort in it that we want to share it with you now. They say there is a reason. They say that time will heal, but neither time nor reason will change the way I feel. For no one knows the heartache that lies behind our smiles. No one knows how many times we have broken down and cried. We want to tell you something so there won't be any doubt. You're so wonderful to think of, but so hard to be without.
10 days after returning home to Colorado, my water broke and we delivered our daughter, Cassidy. Trying to grieve the loss of our daughter, Carmen, while learning how to be parents to our twins has been so hard for us. The last 2 years have been a blur, and we were so grateful to have the photos of our daughter to remember her by. Each year after we celebrate their birthday, we release all the balloons to send up to baby Carmen in heaven so she can celebrate as well and know that we're thinking of her. We also have what we call Carmen's Corner in our bedroom, which is a corner with a chair, all of the precious photos, the molds of our hands holding her feet, and the memorabilia gifts given to us by Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, and our beloved poem. This all couldn't have been possible without Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. This walk has helped us to remember our loved ones. As we take this walk, we know that everyone has been in our shoes. We all have the same sadness, grief, and loss. No one has to even say a word, but we all feel connected knowing we've all shared the same experience. While our journey resulted in 7 pregnancies with 2 miscarriages, 1 ectopic, and 1 stillbirth, and 3 live births. We know that every journey is different and that there is no competition for pain and grief. We come together today to share in the memory of our babies. However you lost your baby, we remember with you, we journey with you. And if you are still in the depths of trying to conceive and are struggling with infertility, we walk with you. Thank you for letting us share our story with you today.
We're going to begin the reading of the names. We'll be reading the names of all the babies we are honoring and remembering today. As we do this, we ask for everyone to be respectful while each name is read by refraining from speaking and remaining quiet. Can you please welcome our readers? And we'll begin.
Carlisle Jasper Abigalam. Natalie Acuna. Mary Isabel Adrianson. Alexander Andrew Asa Ogbertogo. Emery Ogbertogo. Adalyn Hope Alanez Rangel. Easton James Aldrich. Gianna Pearl Alvano. Michael Lawrence Ambrose. Xander Ian Argenbright. Yamale Ariola. Emery Lee Ariola. Max Stephen Ariola. Chloe Aschenbrenner. Carter Wagdy Assad. Emma May Atchley. Emily Ann Atchley. Ever Kendi Atchley. Baby Angel Martinez. Zoe Noelani Azada. Albert Ethan Baca. Julianne Lynn Baca. Cole Baczynski. Peanut Ball. Annabelle Lee Wright.
Lily Rose Bain. Sebastian Rafael Barajas. Ella Grace Barnhart. Baby Bates number 1. Baby Bates number 2. Baby Bates number 3. Baby Bates number 4. Baby Bates number 5. Baby Bates number 6. Brindle Pierce Batterton. Marlee Jean Beatty. Oliver James Beacons. Baby Bellardi number 1. Baby Bellardi number 2. Rose Hannah Berlin. Ryan Marie Bernal. Willow Rose Betts. Grace Divine Bittner. Geraldine Gerard Mercy Bittner. Adeline K. Bjorkland. Ethan Bjorkland. Archie May Bover. Amy Lee Boljack. Sarah Elizabeth Bosch.
Jeremiah Bragg. Connor Broderick. Hannah Marie Brooks. Theodore David Brown. Dominique Nicole Lynn Bruckner Latorre. Anderson Taylor Burke. Damian Alexander Burry. Dominic Michael Allen Burry. Bo Tommy Busby. Jenna Grace Bushman. Jennifer Ann Butler. Michael Lawrence Butler. Mark Alexander Calderon. Carmen Hope Callow. Layla Brielle Campbell. Luke Arthur Campbell. Lucy Campbell. Cole Ryan Karlstrom. Shyla Michelle Lorelei Caron. Inara Love Carreras. Carson, twin boys. Natalia Castellone. Charlotte May Cedarberg. Colburn Chafin.
Gracie Sharon. Sebastian June Young Cho. Caleb J. Clanton. Isabel Danielle Collins. Baby Collier. Adam Daniel Cordova. Cooper Glenn Cosgriff. Parker James Cote. Lalo Alexander Covarrubias. Jonathan Giovanni Covarrubias. Waleska Renee Coyne. Turner Ashby Crocker. Calder Raymond Cronkite. Declan Elliott Lee Crowley. Stephen Gage Crum. Liliana Jean Kuehler. Alexander Anthony Thomas Darby. Baby Davis. Julia Ann Davis. Baby Hope Davis. Laken Marie Davis. Daniel Hamish Deichman. Kelsey Ann DeMoss. Ethan Colt Dotson.
Ryan Lee Driftmeyer. Annika Mati Marie Dykma. Elijah Joseph Edmonds. Tristan Jonathan Eisman. Jack Joseph Ellsworth. Walter Ryan Ellsworth. Eleanor Reese Ellsworth. Amelia Grace Ellsworth. Harper Wren Evans. Aiden Evander Fields. Braden Lee Fisher. Jonah Bornman Fisher. Ryland Carter Flagg. John Lynn Flickinger III. Eviana Bernice Flores. Providence Avery Fournier. Shiloh Fournier. Rowan Mackenzie Fry. Leah Naomi Fujinami. Zachary Connor Furtwängler. Adrian Ray Love Garcia. Leon Ray Garcia. Melody Athena Garcia. Logan Matthew G. Braden Leroy Edward Gamer. Hope Diane Gentry. Baby Gianni 1. Baby Gianni 2. Jake Gibson. Lily Claire May Giesinger. Hunter William Mayock Giesinger. Lachlan Wyatt Oliver Giesinger.
Cameron Elizabeth Glacier. Baby Boy Glacier. Gracie Sue Gleason. Joshua Ray Godinez Jr. Irene Gomez. Jack Gonzalez. Janie Gonzalez. Chase Madison Gray. Judy Lane Green. Moxie Vaughn Green. Lotus Bean Green. Baby Margaret Judy Gross. Nikki Maria Gernovich. Abel Guerrera. Zara Gurul. XR Zeno Lee Gurul. Maddox Achilles Haggard. Brinley Michaela Hall. Madison Elizabeth Denise Hankey. Olivia Christina Hansen. Bailey Rose Harden. Arlo Riley Harper. Baby Moore. Shira Rose Harrell. David Paul Harris. Ethan Robert Harris. Tyler Wade Harrison. Gabriel Hauke. Kinley Rose Haviland. Simon Ebert Joseph Heinzerling. Baby Herrera number 1. Baby Herrera number 2.
Gabriel James Herrera. Gabriela Ariana Herrera. Remy Ray Higgins. Elijah John Hillman. Cooper Jordan Heinrichs. Ella Mae Lanice Holiday. Haley Jade Horn Young. Callan Lee Howell. Angela Taylor Highland. Cheryl Ann Highland. Georgia Luella Ingram. Pearl Marion Irby. Jovan Derek Jamerson. Isaac James Jensen. Baby Jensen number 1. Baby Jensen number 2. Corinne Marie Job. Dominic Felix Johnson. Baby Jones. Grace Maylee Kainuma. Corey Allen Collis. Baby Casiba 1. Cadence Michelle Casiba. Caroline Ann Kelsey. Brianna Nicole Kenfield. Killian Ojeda Kennedy. Colton Robert Kennedy. Jessica July Kennedy. Cheyenne Renee Key. River Champion Contour. Gabriel Kovac. Gianna Rose Kovac.
George Kraft. Benjamin Samuel Kreinbrink. August Joy Kreinbrink. Rita May Kreinbrink. Georgiana Teresina Kuprevich. Babies Kuprevich. Angela Areli Londeros Acuna. Grace Catherine Lang. Nelia Rosemary Lang. Ava Lynn Marie Latimer. Anthony Eugene Lavigne Jr. Lavigne babies 1, 2, and 3. Domenica Lavigne. Nicole Ann Lay. Lucas Evan Lemke. Baby Strong. Mary Jane Adeline Lieberman. Emilio Xavier Lucero. Amelia Lily Lupine. Samantha Lyons. Macy Renee Mackey. Baby Madril. Lenyon Ray Maestas. Emerson Riley Maish. Hosanna Major. Adeline Gracie Maline. Camden Anthony Manzanares. Brooklyn K. Marino. Gabrielle Joseph D. Martin. Ryan Arthur Martin. Brandon and Jordan Martinez, twins.
Arnold Lyons. Tisha Simone Marvey. Dylan Moggan. Baby Moggan. Cadence Bentley Mullen. Emma Grace McFerrin. Noelle Corinna McKelvey. Alexander Mason Mackenzie IV. Baby McMillan. Marlo Alice Medina. Julianne Tristan Megradician. Juan Manuel Menchaca. Angel Mendez Gaitan. Kaysen James Mary. Landon Thomas Miller. Kennedy Ann Miskey. Ariel Moubdeb. Raphael Moubdeb. Adriana Ray Montez. Abigail Grace Moore. Hope Harley Moore. Ulises Luis Morales. Porter Morin. Daniel Lopez Morris. Piper May Naktrib. Riddick Andrew Neal. Gibson Dean Neese. Joel David Nelson. Abigail Elizabeth Nemeth. Bradley Michael Ness. Kobe Nguyen. Elina Grace No. Olivia Marcella Knoll.
Emerson Drea Norman. Ray Lynn Obenchain. Baby Stormy. Emerson John Ogren. Bennett Elias Ogren. Kieran Oliver. Baby Ortega. Josephine Love Escorza. Jaden Robert Ortiz. Baby Ortiz. Joseph E. Ortiz. Emma Evelyn Pallas. Ariel Rachel Patton. Josiah Daniel Pennington. Maya Bella Pinoni. Champ Penton. Gunnar Michael Perry. Eli Bradley Person. Dante Joseph Petoya Aguilar. Liam Jack Pig. Lucas John Piper. Baby Bell. Christian David Populus Jr. Claire Caroline Cece Grace Porter. James Potter. Caden Cooper Premer. Adeline Anastasia Prentice. Gunnar Warren Rains. Talon Michael Ramberg. Julian Ramirez Delgado. Michaela Randolph. Aiden Thomas Clark Reeves.
Angel Reyes Lozoya. Aiden Reyes Mendoza, Drew Avery Rice, Brody Douglas Robinson, Courtney Michelle Rogers, Liam Christopher Rolfs, Angel Christian Roth, Emmanuel Dove Roth, Matthew Joseph Stone Ruffles, Mia Marie Rumler, Micah Russell, Cain Salazar, Samara Isabel Sandoval, Sarah Claire, Shirley Sauer, Dawson James Schneider, Baby Schoffer number 1, Baby Schoffer number 2, Madeline Grace Schott, Justin Kyle Schultz, Cassidy Christiana Scott, Oliver Benjamin Scott, Julia Elizabeth Scott, Thomas Anthony Scott, Michael Francis Searles, Riley Rose Corinne Sago, Ava Grace Cersanti, Casey Olivia Diane Siegel, Everly Ann Sylvie, Baby Sinner number 1, Baby Sinner number 2, Baby Sinner number 3.
Kason Sechrist, Sadie Ross Sizemore, Persephone Rose Sichler, Anon Sichler, Ezra Chertok Skodal, Adeline Hope Smith, Delilah Dawn Smith, Tommy Jacob Smith, Tenley Renee Snyder, 4 Snyder angel babies, Maria Faith Stark, Connor Jeffrey Starr, Jackson Daniel Starr, Owen Michael Stefanski, Alice Jolene Stutton, Johanna Rosalie Swain, Bristol Renee Swisher, Casey Lee Taylor, Clara Jean Thompson, Zon Vance Thorpe, Cashlyn Desi Thurgeson, Jacob Mel Todd, Opal Bernice Tognati, Pearl Daisy Tognati, Third Angel Tognati, Dominic Israel Tootle, Brendan Juan Toscano, Lucas Thon Tran, Elliot William Tribal, Everett James Tribal, Avery Rose Tribal, Natalie Grace Turner, Dylan Randall Urbick,
Christopher Valdez, Sophie Kathleen Barnes Valadez, Vincent Manilo Valadez, Gracie Lauren Lalani Vargas, Tomasia Vargas, Hannah Lee Verbit, Lincoln Scott Verley, Braden Eric Victor, Lauren Marie Vigil, Azalea Abigail Villa, Ethan Michael Vincent. Christine Marie Weigel. Sebastian Alexander Sigmund Wagner. Isabella Mora Wallace. Alex Francis Walters. Francis Lynn Walters. Alice Corelia Walters. Landon Rip Mobley. Baby Webb 1. Baby Webb 2. Baby Webb 3. Julian David Weber. Jameson Charles Weber. Benjamin Robert Weimert. Baby Weimert. Caden Max Welch. Aiden Daniel Wells. Eliana Jade Wheeler. Glorianne Betty Williams. Noah Michael Wilson. Baby Wilsons. Grayson Dean Winterringer.
Justin Zane Wisniewski. Easton Lane Wolf. Baby Wolf. Sunshine Jane Yates. Cheyenne Zaknewski. Lucy Sudell Zaylor. Zane Zachary Zapatello. Blair DeLacy Zavala. Francis Ziegler. Faith Elizabeth. Mateo Elias Jaden. Noel Carena. Baby Bombard. Baby Zane and sister. Lucas Zoo Raleigh. Noah Robert Christie Macklin. Dennis Lynn Macklin. Jonah Sanders. Cody W. Owens. Ari Brooke Hall. Caleb Calvin Woods. Jackson James Woods. Grace Guitar Woods. Reagan Rebecca Woods. Hope Michelle Roth. Lucas Michelle Roth. Lucas Michael Roth. Benjamin Cole Roth. Cato Stephen Roth. Lily Rose Bain. Kennedy Lee Sorensen. Stella Faye Parsons. Stevie Rose Parsons. Baby Luciano. Baby Valdez. Annabelle Lee Wright. Chase Kelly Riddle. Julian Ramirez. Gianni Wells Greta. Esco Vance Oberman. Rose Gleason. Noah Michael Hauser. Isaiah Riggy. Craven Babies.
That completes the reading of all of the names that we came here to remember today. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We want to thank you, give a thank you to our readers, J.P. Butler, Danielle Reeves, Julie Williams, and Jessica Person. Very grateful for them giving us an opportunity to honor our babies while we're all gathered here. If you have registered and your baby's name was not read, could you please see Gina Harris here on the side stage while Billy Lloyd performs the dance, and then we will read your baby's name. Thank you.
looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment, all the world seems right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Holding you, I held everything. For a moment, wasn't I the king? If I'd only known how the king would fall. Hey, who's to say? You know I might have blended all. And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Yes, my life is better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
Thank you, Billy. Well, we're getting close to taking our walk. We want to join together in unity right now as a pregnancy and infant loss community. So when I announce what describes your relationship to the baby you're honoring today, will you please stand and raise both hands? Okay. When all hands are raised, we'll connect hands as a symbol of support and comfort in our journey. So, if you are a parent honoring a baby today, please stand up and raise your hands. If you are a sibling, stand up and raise your hands. Grandparents, please stand up and raise your hands. Extended family, please stand up and raise your hands. Friends, please stand up and raise your hands. Now I lay me down to sleep, photographers and other volunteers, please stand up and raise your hands. All supporters of this cause, please stand up and raise your hands. Now join hands with the people that are around you. In your journey, You might have felt isolated, alone. But know that we walk here united, and we stand with you to honor and show remembrance to your baby. Now say your baby's name out loud. Micah. You may release your hands. As you release your hands, we're going to journey together for a reflective remembrance walk.